Okay, so step one to sample making is deciding what kind of samples you're going to do. I'm going to show you two options. This is going to be our first one. So we have to have a designated warmer. I'm going to use this cute little warmer here. We are going to use a cotton cleanup and a Scentsy swipe to clean out this little dish. So we're going to just put our cotton cleanup in there, soak up that wax, and I'm going to actually do the same with this warmer, okay? So I'm going to change out both of these. Okay, these are super nice. They got this cute little cardboard handle for you to hold on to. Okay, so now we can just toss that. And then we're gonna wipe out the dishes with our Scentsy swipes. So let's get a Scentsy swipe and clean out the dish in this one. So we're just gonna wipe it out, you know, get any residue left behind. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna get it nice and wiped out. Then I'm gonna take this same Scentsy swipe. I'm gonna go over to my little Boston Terrier over there. I'm gonna take you guys with me. Okay, let's go over to him and we're gonna wipe out this one. Okay, get them nice and cleaned out. Okay, perfect. Now, we're gonna get ready for step two. Okay, so for step two, or whatever step we're on, the supplies I'm gonna need now is a cutting board and something to cut with, okay? Because I am gonna do a brick. These things are huge. If you're only doing like a regular size bar, you don't need a cutting board or something to cut with. But I am going to do a brick, and so I need a cutting board and something to cut with. Okay, so because the brick is so big, we need to break it. Okay, so I kind of bend the packaging a little bit just to separate my cubes. And then these little pieces, I'm gonna just put in my warmer. Okay, so if you're doing like just some for a warmer, okay, so this is the size of the cube. I'm not gonna put the whole thing in there. I'm actually gonna cut it in half, and I'm gonna put half in this warmer, and I'm gonna put the other half in the Boston Terrier. While those are melting, doing their thing, because we want them to be completely melted before we actually make the sample. Okay, so while they're melting, I prep my other stuff. So I need parchment paper, and I lay it right next to my warmer, okay? So I don't spill on my countertops, because I'm good at that. So, parchment paper. You're gonna need some sort of tweezer thing, tweezers, okay? Then you're going to need felt. So if you want the Scentsy felt, you can find the Scentsy branded felt in the consultant store. Otherwise, go to your local craft store, Target, Walmart, the Dollar Tree, wherever, get some felt and cut it into little pieces. So I've got this cute felt. I got leaves, acorns, pumpkins. So I'm gonna use up some of this. Okay, so I got my felt ready. Little baggies, okay, this is the size of 3x4. I get those on Amazon. And then I get this on Amazon. So I got a little Nimbot label maker. It is thermal, so it doesn't take ink. Connects Bluetooth to my phone. You just download a little app And then I get my little labels, okay? So I can label the bag. So then they end up looking like this. Where's one of my labels? Okay, so here's an example. So I put pumpkin honey spice because that's what this sample is. And now I'm going to check out my mailing list, figure out how many samples I need to make, and get to town labeling and all of that. I also like to put a little handwritten note. So I got this box. It has 200 note cards with envelopes. I'm down to this many. From Amazon, you get a whole box of these. And I write out little handwritten notes. So, like I said, it's got envelopes. And then it's got the note cards. Okay, so you pick a note card, grab the envelope, write a little note, and include some sort of link to your website. So I do a label, okay? It has got a QR code. So this is my November shopping link. I'm gonna stick that somewhere with my handwritten note. Okay, so I'm gonna get working on this while my wax melts. And then I'm gonna come back and show you guys how I do the rest. Another kind of sample that you can do with wax is the silicone mold. Okay, so mine are a little dusty. I do not do this style in warmer months because it's gonna make a mess in transit, okay? But you can get these cute Scentsy silicone molds in the consultant store, or you can get an ice cube silicone tray. These ones are cute little snowflakes. And then you're gonna need a glass measuring cup because it has a spout. So I would recommend putting your desired amount of wax in here, stick it in the microwave, but you're gonna wanna go slow intervals, okay? You don't wanna like overheat this. So I do like 30 seconds at a time. Take it out and you're going to just pour it in. You're gonna pour it in each one. And then you're gonna let it sit and harden. Once it's hardened, you'll pop them out. They'll come out real easy, pop them out. And then you're gonna do the baggie and you're gonna label it. Okay, super simple. I know that some people like to give their customers ideas for mixers. So this is where the mold would come in handy, okay? So you could take, we're just gonna see what I have in here. We're gonna say banana nut bread. Okay, so pretend I got some banana nut bread wax in here. It's melted. I'm gonna pour that in all the spots. Let it harden, let it cool. And then I was feeling creative and decided, we're gonna pretend I decided to do pumpkin honey spice. Okay, so I melted some pumpkin honey spice. Mind you, banana nut bread is already cooled and hardened. We're gonna pour that in on top. Let it all harden. Then they'll have 2 scents mixed together. Personally, I would not recommend doing them too. This is just what I have in this bin to use as an example. But mix and match. Have fun with it, play with it. One I would recommend doing is Johnny Appleseed mixed with baked apple pie, okay? So first you're gonna melt up your Johnny Appleseed, pour it in, let it cool and harden. You're gonna put in your baked apple pie, melt it, okay? Pour it in, let it cool and harden, and then you're gonna pop them out and you're gonna bag it. And then on your bag, you're gonna put what 2 are mixed together. Okay, this is a great way to get your customers to try a mix. Okay, I'm gonna get working on my felt and I'll be back. Now that our wax is melted, we're gonna take our felt samples and put it in. I let it soak up completely, and then we're gonna take our little tweezers and pull it out of there, kind of tap it like that. And then we're gonna put it on our parchment paper to dry. Okay, so I find it easier to do one at a time. I know some people like can put a couple in. I don't, I do just one. I just kind of watch it, and like when it's completely covered in wax. Let's move this just a tad bit closer so you can see what I'm talking about here. So when it's completely covered like that with wax, then I know to pull it out. Okay, so I'm doing 5 of these baked apple pie wax samples. So now we have to let them sit for about 3 to 5 minutes to dry. Okay, so I've got them on the parchment paper. They're gonna sit 3 to 5 minutes to dry. My wax samples just need a couple more seconds to dry. So I am taking my baggie. You can get the Scentsy baggies from the consultant store. I got these on Amazon. Okay, so, and then I've got my label, baked apple pie. So I'm gonna stick that on my bags. Okay, I sticker all of them. I realized I forgot one, so I had to make 6 samples. And you guys, this smells so good in my house. I wish that I could like send a scent over social media or put a scent in this video, because it does literally smell like I baked an apple pie in here. Okay, so I'm almost done stickering, labeling, whatever you want to call it, my little bags. Oops, I almost put that one on upside down. Okay, so we got those all labeled. Now I'm going to take my little felt sample. It's got the wax on it. Okay, we're going to put it in the bag. So what I like about the felt is it's nice and flat, easy to mail. If you mail this out in the warmer months, or, you know, to a warmer state, if it starts to melt in here, it doesn't make as big of a mess because it soaks into that felt. So I have already wrote out all of my little cards. This particular person, I'm going to give her a banana nut bread sample and an apple pie sample. Okay, so if you lay them like this and stick them in your little envelope, hold on. Okay, stick them in the envelope like this so that they lay nice and flat. Okay, you can mail this now with only 1 stamp. And the other thing that I like to do with these is I take my little scent of the month stickers, and it doesn't matter what scent it is because I've got a lot of stickers, and I seal it with scented stickers. So I've got a variety of scented stickers here that I'm trying to use up. So we're gonna do one of the Have S'more Pumpkin. I'm gonna do one of the Emerald Pear Blossom. Okay. And then we're gonna do one of Frosted Marshmallow, because that's what I've got here. So this is another great way to get your customers some more samples. Okay, so now she's got 2 in here and 3 different ones here that she can rub and smell. So there we have it. Everything is packaged, labeled, addressed, everything. Now I'm just ready to put some stamps on these and get them out in the mail. So if you do 1 to 2 of these felt samples, you can mail it with just 1 stamp. 3 or more, you might be charged extra for mailing. If you have any questions regarding sample making, please feel free to reach out and let me know.